Actually, when I fight, that's a very important part of it. To me, I would feel weird just jumping in the ring and fighting cold. The white crew is very important. It warms you up, gets you mentally prepared. In addition to just self-fulfillment, I feel like fighting is kind of my way to see the world. I get really good at this, and I take a lot of fights everywhere. I can see lots of the world. I can go to Thailand, I can go to Europe and fight dudes. I can go to Japan, I can go to South America. I just really want to use it to bring me to different places. I am not afraid to say, dude, that guy will fuck me up. He will smoke, you know what I mean? I understand my place. I understand I need more experience. I need to know more skills. I need to have better reactions. I need to have a better understanding of the mechanics of the fight. And I can only do that through experience.
Hey, what's up, folks? Thank you for tuning into another episode of Rex talking about random things. All right, so this is a continuation of my series, which is chasing success, which is I find people with cool, interesting stories, and then we try to pick them apart and see what makes them tick. So I got a special guest today. His name is Bobby. He's one of the young, talented Muay Thai fighters at my gym. Want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Bobby Martin. I'm 23, and I've been training at TMT for about 4 years. I didn't start my martial arts journey there. I think I've talked to you about it before. I started with boxing.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, what I really liked was boxing, but I found difficulty finding a trainer because I was around 19. People don't want to train 19-year-olds to be pro boxers.
Really? Why not? Didn't Mike Tyson start when he was like 16?
He started when he was 15.
15?
Yeah, Mike Tyson started when he was 15, and by the time he was 20 years old, he won his first world title. But there's this tremendous difference in boxing culture and Muay Thai culture. Boxing is a very, they call it like a very lonely sport. It's very individually oriented. It's just you and your trainer a lot of the times. Mm-hmm. Whereas with Muay Thai, I feel like I'm actually getting to know the people I train with. They become your friends. They become like your support system. So I just feel like personally with boxing, I was missing that aspect of having a team and having friends that could relate to what I was trying to do. Mm-hmm. In the boxing gym, I would just go in there and hit the bag by myself all the time.
Is that every boxing gym or just this specific one? Because I've never heard that before.
Yeah, probably just my experience with this specific gym is more accurate. I had tried training at a cultist just by myself, and I was like, nah, this isn't gonna work, dude. I need a trainer. Mm-hmm. So I started going to a local boxing gym that isn't operating anymore. I've seen teams more in like Europe, more in like like Russia and stuff. They train boxing as like teams, but the way I've experienced it is that usually like the coach comes in, I'm hitting the bag, these kids are all hitting the bag, and one by one you get your pad rounds. Okay, one by one you get your pad rounds, then one by one you all do your conditioning, and then by the time it's time to spar, it's a little nerve-wracking because everyone's getting geared up, getting into their mind. You spar in boxing, it's very rough. It's almost like you're simulating a fight. It's common to get your nose bloodied, your lip busted, black eyes.
During sparring?
During sparring, like, wow. Yeah, dude, sparring.
That's way more hardcore than what the fuck we do.
Right, for sure, yeah. Like, there's no...
And you guys go pretty hard, too.
I think the thing that separates it is the care for your partner. Like in the gym, and not just our gym, in any gym, you're taught, like, to give your partner some room to breathe, make sure you're pushing them, but you're not overwhelming them, make sure you're not just giving it to them because you can, and you'll kind of help your partner out a bit by challenging them a bit at a time, whereas in boxing, coach would tell me, yo, go get up, knock them out, hit them hard. And a lot of my spars, I would leave with headaches.
That's a little frightening, actually.
It is frightening, it's scary. I would have little panic attacks every sparring night in the gym because I knew it was going to be like fighting. And I think it toughened me up a little bit, getting used to that, because now sparring at the gym with the guys, I understand they have that concern for me. I understand I have that concern for them, and it's a mutual understanding that we want to keep each other in good shape and safe and healthy. Boxing, it doesn't matter. You might be coming into your gym on Tuesday night, sparring some kid who's on fire from like Fort Myers, and you don't know what you're up against. You've never seen him fight. You don't know his style. So I think boxing definitely just stressed me out a lot more. Just in that aspect that I was going to be fighting every night, Tuesday to Thursday.
Again, I have to ask, that part of like that hardcore fighting and just blowing everyone's brains out. was that gym, or that's just boxing?
Boxing, typically, you don't see a lot of light sparring in boxing unless it is a more team-oriented gym. You don't see a lot of touch boxing and drill-oriented, sparring. You don't see a lot of that. Maybe even just in America, it's kind of the convention that, like, in sparring sessions, you guys are trying to simulate a fight and you get dropped. Sometimes guys get knocked out cold in sparring, like they're fighting, dude. That is like a staple, I think, and this is just my take on it, that I think boxing is missing that aspect of kind of culture, and that maybe you're doing something bigger than yourself. The ultimate goal for boxers, usually at the end, is making sure you're making millions. Whereas Muay Thai, we expect to not make millions doing pro Muay Thai.
are there any millionaire Muay Thai fighters? Saichi?
Sanchai, I have a hard time believing Sanchai is a millionaire. However, man, Giorgio Petrosian just won $1 million. Maybe like a year or two ago, he won that tournament for one. That's definitely the most any Muay Thai fighters like ever paid.
What about Buakaw?
Buakaw's probably got some good money, but look how long he's had to be Buakaw, you know? Like, the guys that really shine and pioneer the sport, they end up well off later in their life.
But it's a different level of wealth though, because they're not making like Floyd Mayweather money.
Yeah, dude, it's not like, did you want to keep walking?
Yeah.
It's not Floyd money, no. Muay Thai is kind of new, and there's not so much of an investment in like the gambling and the promotions,
The sponsorships,
right?
Yeah.
So Muay Thai is just, it's not that it's not popular, it just gets no coverage. There's no coverage and there's really no money in it. I think it's the fact that you're not doing this for cash. You understand, like, you're not doing this for money, so your reason for doing it has to be a little more, thank you. The reason for doing it has to be a little more, I think, genuine, right? For some people, motivating themselves with money and earning like wealth, that's enough. And it's definitely something that drives me a good bit. But in Muay Thai, not really. You know, that's what I go to work for. That's why I go to work. That's why I put in my hours. Muay Thai for me is fun, dude. You know, it's not like I expect to be this millionaire fighter on TV and on, like, you know, ads and stuff. It would be great, beautiful, and I'll take that if it comes my way. But really, I just like how scary and challenging it is. Every time I fight, I'm on a high for like 2 weeks straight, and as soon as it's over, that I'm chasing that feeling again.
So what made you switch from boxing to Muay Thai then?
Circumstance. I was training at a gym called Tampa Bay Boxing. It was on Sly and Del Mabry over in the Egypt Lake area. And I had a trainer there named Pat DeVito. And he was actually the only trainer that would give me work. He was the only one that would take me out for runs. He'd give me, you know, workouts to do and hold pads for me. And one night, you know, we're getting ready for a fight, and I haven't gotten to compete with him at this point, right?
Yeah.
So I say, hey, look, coach, I'm a little nervous. I want to get some extra sparring rounds in. So he has me go with this kid named Malik. It's a good amateur, you know, about my size. At this point, I'm weighing about like 155, so I'm a little bigger. I'm going with bigger guys in the gym. And I'm maybe about 4 rounds in, man. And I got Malik in the corner, right? And cuts out on an angle, so when I throw my jab, he uses it to exit, cuts off the jab. When he cuts off, he takes the angle on the left, boom, right down the pipe, hits me in the nose. Oh, right through my headgear. So there's only about this much space, and he got me perfect in the nose. Instantly, man, I just like saw a flash. I felt my nose get stuffy and full.
Oh no, broke your nose.
I think, I don't know if I broke it, but it was so bad that like I went to the bathroom and I was just trying to get the blood to stop coming out my nose. And in one just dumb moment, I blew out. You know, they say like, you break your nose, you're not supposed to put pressure on it or blow out. Like, you ever seen Donald Cerrone when he fought Tony Ferguson?
Yes.
I did that, and I blew up my eyes like balloons. So I looked like a raccoon for like 2 weeks. It was the most embarrassing thing at work too. Yeah, nobody, customers. I was working in a store at the time, and like everyone would make a comment on it. It was the most embarrassing thing because A, quite possibly broke my nose, and then B, now I got pulled out of my fight because I'm injured.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe I'm on break for like 2 weeks, just waiting to heal up and want to get back to training. And coach lets me know, hey, look, bud, gym is like done. I have no money to keep running. I cannot afford the space. The gym is going to be closing down. So, I was a little sad about it, but we hadn't gotten so close yet that I felt like that was my home. I could still find another gym.
Yeah.
That's my mentality at this point. So I start looking up gyms just in the area, and I find TMT is like the first one. I go to my first class at TMT, and I feel so out of the water. Like you feel weird thinking you know a little bit, but then to go into a fresh environment where you have to have a very open, learning attitude, it's very different.
Yeah, and like, even though they're both boxing, they're just still very, very different sports, and just even the way you throw a hook is different in boxing.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's exactly how I came in. Like beginner crash course boxing.
Yes.
And I would even like getting low kicked the first time or getting teep kicked. I'm just like, yo, how are these people doing this? This is so dope. Like, I mean, I freaking I would stand all like conventional boxing, very low in the feet and stuff.
Bladed stance.
Yeah. So I didn't really understand yet the foot positioning and the weight distribution and how to generate power even though you're not really able to bend the legs too much without compromising your stance. I found it just very intriguing, but also at the same time kind of frustrating. I felt like when I first started Muay Thai, I was kind of like same deal, not really getting a lot of attention at first. And then I started to think, well, maybe I feel a little entitled, right? Because I was training to fight with the other coach that I had. Just like do my time, just be frequently here. Do both classes at night. I would do 5 and 6 too, just to make sure that the coaches saw me doing it, because I know other people want to get in the fight team. So, just be there every day, interact with everyone, try and be nice, try and make friends here. And if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be, they'll see it and I'll get recognized.
Yeah.
And that's basically how it went down, man. I ended up taking my level 1. My level 1 test. If you don't know, level 1 test is how you get on the fight team at TMT. I was very nervous for it. I had to do it with Jason.
Oh no! That's all you need to say.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Tell me more. We need to hear. We need this.
He was actually pretty nice. I don't know what it was. Like, he was pretty nice to me. I was very nervous going up to the Y crew. I fell over the rope. So when I went to, I did my Sawadis and I went to jump over the rope. I caught my back foot on it so that I ended up doing this kind of hanging like this off the ropes with one leg hoisted up, the other one trying to touch the floor. And I could tell, I looked out to the crowd, like the side of my eye, and everyone in the gym was just trying to like kind of stifle their laughter because I was in the middle of like the Ram Muay.
It's a serious moment.
It's a very serious, yeah, I know. So I was.
People in Muay Thai take that very seriously.
I know, for me to bust my ass.
Oh.
So actually, it made me feel good to realize a lot of people were trying not to laugh about it because I knew if it was anybody else, I would have found it hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's just a jerk in me, dude. I would have laughed at him. But yeah, I went through my Ram Muay and any opportunity in the gym to simulate a fight, I tried to. Any correlation or association that I could burn into my brain so that when it comes time to fight, I feel familiar with it, So when I'm doing the Ram Muay, Jill had given me the advice that I'm just supposed to breathe, relax. If I want to throw my punches while I'm walking around and circling the ring, I can do that. If I just want to take a deep breath and hold it and clear it, I have a good few minutes until my white crew is done. And so, actually when I fight, that's a very important part of it. To me, I would feel weird just jumping in the ring and fighting cold. The white crew is very important. It warms you up, gets you mentally prepared, and it gives you a little bit of extra time to calm your nerves and get a bit more confident.
So, for the viewers who don't know, what is a white crew? What is all that?
White crew?
Yeah.
It's
the Ram Muay. What is all that?
I hate to call it. Some people will call it like a dance. I find it very ceremonial. So in the beginning of a Muay Thai fight, you do what's called the Y crew or the Ram Muay, which is a process where you're able to express your gratitude, express your thanks to your coach, your gym, Even the training equipment you're provided with, you're basically just showing this tremendous gesture of gratitude by performing the white crew. So there's different parts to it. In the beginning, what's called sealing the ring, you have to bow 3 times, place your hands on the ropes, and a big part of the white crew is like building a connection with the ring and the setting you're entering in. You know?
Yeah.
It's very like treat crew in general something that you like respect in the gym, something that you give like reverence to. Gloves, coach, the mats, bags, pads, everything. So in that moment, what you're doing is basically saying, I've trained my hardest for this fight. I'm very grateful to my preparation and the people that helped me. And it's also a moment to, depending on your religion, a lot of people say prayers during their white crew, right? So
I've seen that.
right, yes. I've seen people that are like Muslim, they'll say a prayer and they'll have their own specific white crew. You know, like Christian people sometimes they'll come in, they'll wear like a cross pendant on their mongkol on the back.
Yeah.
I think that just looks cool. I wouldn't do it. It just looks so cool. They wear like rosaries or a crucifix on their mongkol. It's a very personalized thing. You could really do anything you want with your white crew. As far as sealing the ring, bowing to your opponent, making sure that you're in contact with the ropes while you do it. That's all like staple stuff, but for the most part, your white crew is individual to you.
Yeah.
So Ronnie, Ronnie, what he likes to do is when he does his white crew, at the portion where you do the bow, he takes out, he mimes having a bow, and he takes it out and he notches it into the arrow into the bow, and he lets it go in his opponent's face.
Oh, that's so cool.
I love when he does it. Yeah, it is cool. It's the greatest gesture of just confidence and preparation. I find it so cool.
Robbie's also a badass.
Huh?
He's also a badass.
Ronnie is a badass. Guys, Ronnie Guikalea at Tampa Muay Thai. He is next up and coming thing at 135.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. I spoke truth into the universe. But yeah, the white crew, that part kind of threw me off when I first started Muay Thai. That's actually what kind of like burned it into my head that this is a very traditionally rooted and culturally like revered sport. It's not just fighting for the sake of this way.
Yeah.
If there was no white crew, and some promotions in America will make you skip it. I hate that. A lot of promotions in America, they're trying to kind of westernize Muay Thai so that you spend a little less time on the tradition and the cultural aspects of it, and just kind of make it prize fighting. Does that make sense?
They're trying to turn it into just boxing into a national sport.
Yeah, and I hate that. I feel like a lot of the confidence that I take into training in Muay Thai, I feel like I'm giving to something that a whole bunch of other people have done before me, a whole bunch of people are doing now. But the one thing that stays constant is we all love it. So for me, like, I love to fight because I feel like I'm not doing something selfish. It doesn't feel like something selfish. I told you, I like to fight. I like to make Jill and Dato happy. I like to get that validation from my peers that, like, yo, you worked hard for this and you achieved it. And I couldn't see Muay Thai without a white crew. Kickboxing.
So if they ever got rid of the white crew altogether and they got rid of the whole opening ceremony, would you still do Muay Thai?
There'd be an uproar, dude. That, like, I mean, yes, I would. Because I'm not fighting on the stage I want to fight on now. I also, in addition to just self-fulfillment, I feel like fighting is kind of my way to see the world. I get really good at this, and I take a lot of fights everywhere. I can see lots of the world. I can go to Thailand, I can go to Europe and fight dudes. I can go to Japan, I can go to South America. I just really want to use it to bring me to different places. I feel like right now, the way America does Muay Thai, or just the way it has been, they kind of water it down a bit so it's a bit more fast-paced, and you don't have to think about what's going on so much with the where the Pujad and the Mamkan. It just doesn't seem to take And yes, I'll do those cards and those fights. I'll take those fights and those cards because I just kind of have to. I have to do it to get to the point I want to be at. You know, it's okay. I can't be a snob and say, "Oh, this promotion's not doing this. I don't like it," or "This promotion's not letting me do this." I don't like. I'll take whatever opportunities I get. I just acknowledge that it sucks, and I wish it was different. And I hope maybe one day, after fighting for so long and acquiring my credibility, maybe I could even implement a little more efficient into Muay Thai, or maybe I could open my own gym, or maybe get a job as an official, ISKA or something. Yeah, I think it's very important that that aspect of culture and history stays with Muay Thai. That's a lot of where my strength comes from, I think, is like, you know, knowing that back in the day, people used to use Muay Thai to like fight. You know, in Thailand they have the King's Day, where they perform in honor of the king, and I just find that missing in America when it comes to combat sports. I feel like there isn't this like national pride in it, whereas in Thailand everyone loves Muay Thai.
There's Muay Thai fights every weekend.
Right.
And there's like multiple fights in the same city.
It's a bit muddied with the amount of gambling that goes on over there, but it's like a dual perspective. I understand it. You know, Thailand's very poor. It's a very like low income place, and so I mean you can't really judge. I want to say that one day I'll be over in Thailand fighting, but there's nothing that puts fear in me more than the Thais. I'll fight anyone on American soil, dude. But the Thais, I don't know what it is. I feel like I can't, you know, like you're a dude that's 9 years old and your family's poor, so you start training to fight and make a living, and then you do it in your 20s, and it's like, whoa, wait, you're phenomenal at this, and you've been doing it since you were a kid. You know, like Super Bond or like Pechdom. Like, dude, those guys put fear in my heart. That raises my heart rate so quick. I'll fight the top #1 fighter in America before I even go over there and fight a low-ranked Thai.
You would fight Asa?
Asa 10 pound?
Yeah.
Hold on. No, I forgot he's in my weight class, dude. I take that back. I'm not fighting Asa 10 pound anytime soon. Anytime soon.
Not yet.
No, not yet. Gotta work my way up. It's a little hard. So actually, I want to talk about something too that I think about often, and it's like, I know my place, or so I think, in Muay Thai. I am not afraid to say, dude, that guy fucked me up if he will smoke. You know what I mean? I understand my place. I understand I need more experience. I need to know more skills. I need to have better reactions. I need to have a better understanding of the mechanics of the fight, and I can only do that through experience. So for me to go and say that I'd beat him, or I'd fight so and so, I know I wouldn't. I know I couldn't. I'm not there yet. But I try to maintain that humility without taking away from my confidence and my ability. You know, I understand on my level when I'm fighting guys. Any guy that I get matched up with, the coach thinks it's a good fight. I know that, and that's where my confidence comes from.
Okay.
I know Gato would never put me in a situation where I had my hands too full. So, just trying to be humble, but maintain that air of confidence and that feeling of reassurance. It's a thing you play with and fluctuates throughout time, and especially through your fight camp. Some weeks I feel like I'm kicking super slow, or you know, sometimes I just leave the gym and my legs are already heavy on my run. And other weeks I'm in there and I'm fucking killing it. I feel really good and I feel really confident and clear-headed. So, I mean, yeah, dude. I feel like you just learn that balance. I feel my confidence increase every time I fight, but I also feel like it humbles me at the same time that I can say, all right, when I go into this fight, I've done what I can do. I train my hardest, my work is done, and even though my body's telling me not to do it and my mind's telling me not to do it, I'm gonna do it anyway because it's like the milestone I have to cross to be the kind of person I want to be.
So actually, yeah, tell me about this upcoming fight that you have going on.
Yeah, so Kanam Tom, our branch, or our I guess like our school of study when it comes to Muay Thai. It's something that Jalal, Ray Cole, like they came up with. Really, Ray Cole spearheaded like the whole thing, and then started to train like Jalal, and Alex Barrios, and just over time, like they acquired coaches. Certain coaches went off, split, did different things, and Jacksonville is like one of, I consider them our sister gym. They got the same logo of Pound and Tom in their gym. So it almost feels a little bit homely.
This one?
Yes, exactly. When I'm there, it feels a little bit homely because it's like, see Pound and Tom on the wall. I know that their lineage is pretty similar to ours, just a little different. So for me, I look at it as an opportunity to like, you know, put on for my gym, for my school. Yes, we study the same thing and very similar styles. But I feel like it's an opportunity to show what we're doing different. And if I'm not being too crass, show how we're a little better. I'm serious, I do. I feel like whenever we go against the tough gym, I get excited. Like my second fight, I fought a guy named Gio. Super excited because I like these good gyms, fighting guys from good gyms. I like fighting guys I know are going to do Muay Thai.
Yes.
A lot of the time in the amateurs. Huh?
I feel like a lot of Muay Thai schools just teach kickboxing with like a couple elbows and knees thrown in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the clinch is awful.
Yeah.
You know?
They're clinching their forearms not even anywhere near your collarbone.
Dude, I swear to God, sometimes it feels like you clinch someone up and they put their head down. You don't even pull them down. They put their head down. The most reassuring thing in a fight is when you put someone in like a double plumb and you see this or this. I love that. That gets me excited.
Versus when you put someone in the clinch and their hand is just sneaking right up the middle.
Right up the middle, you're like, oh crap, now I'm in for it. Fuck. Yeah, exactly. That's the make or break in an AMI fight. Is like you'll know if you're fighting someone who's pretty well prepared just based on how they react to like different things you throw at them. Like, it's a little, you know, when the fight first starts, it's a little kind of slow paced and hesitant. You're both trying to kind of figure out how you're gonna start countering each other. But make or break is that clinch, man. Like you guys clinch up. Some dudes will kind of clinch on you to rest or push you into the ropes. You can tear them up that way. They think they're getting a break. Now I'm making you work. So just by the school, you can tell like who you're fighting. I fought my first fight. I fought this kind of kickboxing, karate style guy. Came from like an MMA gym, right? Yeah. Then I fought a Gio, who was very like orthodox Muay Thai. My first time fighting someone who's throwing like jab, jab, low kick, jab, hook, low kick, checking kicks. He checked one of my kicks that I threw and it hit the top of my foot. Instantly felt like this lightning bolt pain go up my foot. Oh. Yeah, dude, that made me nervous. I thought he had noticed my reaction to it. So after I landed the kick, put my foot back down and I kind of faltered a bit, putting the weight on it. And right then I was like, all right, snap into it, dude. He might have seen that, might take it as an opportunity to try and capitalize on your injury. Have you seen Muay Thai Grand Prix?
Yes, I have.
This is Road to Muay Thai Grand Prix. Ooh. So, you know.
There's a lot riding on this fight.
Yeah, dude, a lot, yeah. The last time I fought for them, it just felt like I was stepping up to a bigger stage. And it's really exciting and it really just kind of gave me a lot of confidence. And even though I came out on the short end of my last fight, I still feel like I learned more from that loss than my last 3 wins.
What did you learn?
Just trust myself more. I had a lot of self-doubt going into that fight, and I let my thoughts kind of dictate my mentality at the time. I got a bit too complacent, lazy in my head, and I just found it so much harder to string together like combos and you know, react accordingly. Dude, I could check a low kick in the middle of a fight where I'm super nervous and my adrenaline's running. For some reason, they're just landing, eating me up. So I think I need to do a better job of calming myself, making sure that I have a good focus that's going to keep everything that I've been training fresh in mind in the middle. You know, it's this weird balance where you have to kind of flow, but you have to be focused and just very softly focused so that your body's doing most of the work and your mind isn't tiring your body out with thoughts. Yeah, I just think maybe I'm a little more properly motivated this time, and I feel like I've made a lot of changes in my training and my diet to where I can say with confidence I feel like my body's the strongest it's ever been. Just excited. I'm taking it as something that I should appreciate, you know? Like, this is a beautiful life that I get to live, training with my friends and going to the gym, You know, we all get to put on our fights and show off our styles and our skills, and people get to see how our school fights. Like, that's fun. It's not this tremendous thing that's like freaking me out all week. There's my moments where I get nerves, but I'm starting to learn how to channel those nerves into like excitement. It is excitement. It's something I've prepared for weeks and weeks, and when it gets here, it's like it's something to just kind of immerse yourself in. I like to think of it like kind of going on vacation. Yeah, I'm serious. It's like the day-to-day, the training every day, and the getting up for work and all the regular life stuff. It's a break from that, because now I'm just a fighter. I have one job. I'm just supposed to show up here, I'm just supposed to put on a good fight, make sure I beat my opponent dominant, I overwhelm him, and I also make it entertaining for everyone who wants to see me fight. Put a lot of thought into developing my style and having a nice, fun, flowy, exciting style, and I feel like I've got a good game plan going into this fight. I'm really excited to show people all the new stuff I know.
Awesome.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, as far as fighting a guy named Chester McIntosh, pretty good. He fought Ronnie in an exhibition.
Oh.
Maybe, I think it was like 2 fights before I went on at that last fight.
He fought our Ronnie?
Our Ronnie, yeah. Yeah, he had a good style. He's got like a good foundation, good technique in his kicks, good technique in his punches. I think where my strengths are gonna be are just a little more in my movement, my reactions. I trust my eyes more than anything.
Yes.
Trust my eyes. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a challenge, and I think in beating him, it's gonna be quite a great milestone. And I want to put a little more confidence in the coach with this win, just because last time walking away with the L, we didn't feel so good.
Yeah. I know Dato definitely didn't feel good.
Dato was on my ass every time. Even when I win, he's on my ass. Have you seen like tape of us in the corner, and he's like, yelling at me and hitting me, and he's very intense. He's very intense. You would think he's fighting, and he tells me all the time.
Well, there's a reason he's our head coach.
Yeah. I wouldn't rather have anybody else, dude. I ask him all the time, like, yo, coach, how do you feel when we go to fight? I'm feeling good, feeling confident, and he's like, I'm nervous. I ask him, why are you nervous? You're not fighting. He goes, I feel like you're fighting. When you guys go up there to fight, you're representing what I teach you. You're showing me if I'm a good teacher, if I'm a good trainer.
Oh man, that's a lot of pressure.
And I care for you, right? It is a lot of pressure, dude. But like, again, it ties in with like just showing people, yo, I'm learning from the best. I feel like there isn't a trainer out there like Dato. He's definitely a hidden gem.
No,
So-
I've been through 4 gyms. I've never seen a gym like this one before.
No?
Yeah,
I'm glad you think that.
yeah,
Good.
yeah. Because I did my because I did my intro class with Anson, and I was like, okay. And then like the second like Anson just kicked the pad on me. And
He
I was
busted my lip the first time.
like, yes. I was like, oh. For the first time Anson hit me, I was like, oh, that really hurt. Because because all the other gyms that I've been to, like when they do the intro classes or whatever, it's like they take it easy on like the news. Like
Right,
like
they
tap
break
here.
it.
Versus Anson was like, okay, hold the pad. I'm like, okay. He's like, oh, you felt pads before. I'm like, yeah. He goes, okay. Boom, and I'm like, and my whole body's like, zzz, like vibrating, and I'm like, oh, I like this gym. But
We know our
yes.
stuff, man. We know our stuff.
Yeah, and that's definitely like a reflection of like just the gym overall. Like when the coaches are like here to, what that told me at that moment that he kicked the crap out of me was that they're not here to baby us. They're
No,
not
you're
here
gonna
to,
get pushed.
they're here
Yeah.
to turn you into like a much better fighter, a much better person. And I'm like, that's the environment that I want to be in, because like before I left DC, the gym I was training at, like, no disrespect to them, I love them and all, but they were so easy on the new guys that the new guys didn't know what was going on until they stepped up to like the higher level, and then that's when they got their shit broken.
Pushed in.
Yeah, and then at that point you would see a lot of people leave, and I'm like, I'd rather find out up front whether this is right for me or not than find out later. And I definitely found that at TMT training with the new guys.
I think we do a good job making it apparent, you're gonna have a hard time with this.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very difficult, you know. And something I also like is like in our all levels classes, we expect everyone to try their best to keep up. You know, there isn't like this is beginner's class.
Yeah.
This is where you're doing 1, 2, 3s and your heart rate's nice and low. All, you know.
Yeah.
Nah, dude, we have class at 5 and 6. You show up, do the work as best you can. Maybe sometimes you miss a few reps. Maybe you need a break. You need to walk off the mat because it's too hard. Yeah, that's all right. You're there. You know, as long as you keep coming back. We challenge people to kind of, I don't know, some gyms, they like to kind of coddle you all the way through.
Yes.
Right? How we keep people in their, I guess, like, skill range, it's a level 1 test, you know? A level 1 test, it's optional. If you want to move up, you want to increase your training, you want to make it harder, you want to work with harder quality partners, it's optional. It's a level 1, you know? But with all levels, it doesn't matter, dude. You're always going to be telling yourself, you're always going to have hard sprint kicks to do and skip knees. It's authentic Muay Thai training, also with that aspect of like strength and conditioning and hit cardio, you know? I feel like those are things that we miss in some Muay Thai training regimens, and we kind of hit all boards with it. Something I personally neglect, dude, is like, I hate to lift. Oh, I hate to fucking lift, Rex. I do not like lifting. Whenever Dato says like, hey, grab some kettlebells, my heart sinks. I'm telling you. All right, everybody grab dumbbell. Everybody grab barbell. Okay, grab shoes. We go outside and do circuits. Oh my God, it makes me so angry sometimes. Don't tell him I said this, all right? That's always a good thing, right? Don't tell him I said this, dude. But sometimes Dato infuriates me at the end of a training session where I think, all right, yo, I'm gassed, I'm done. I emptied the tank in these sparring rounds. Grab dumbbells, grab weights, let's roll outside for sprints. It's like, I know at that point where I'm getting upset that I have to do more work, that I am dead. I am done. Hi. Hey, how you doing?
How's it going, guys?
Good, good. I know at that point, dude, I'm dead. Now I'm breaking limits.
Yeah.
Like now I'm breaking limits. I don't want to do this at all. In fact, sometimes I look across the gym, I look Dato in his eyes, and I just give him the dirtiest look I can. And then I get to work. It's what's expected of me. It's what's expected of everyone.
So what impact has martial arts in general had on your life?
Oh, the greatest, man. The greatest. Just even outside of my physical condition, you know. Well, we could start there, right? Like getting out of high school, I felt very directionless. I felt like I had all this energy. I felt like I had all this like steam that I never blew off. I didn't have any kind of. I like to skateboard. I skateboarded for fun. But after a while, I got comfortable with that, and I felt like it wasn't something I was able to challenge myself in anymore without getting in tremendous, like, hurting myself.
Yeah.
You know? So, just feeling kind of weak as a young dude that's not athletic. I had no muscles. I couldn't run down the block without losing my fucking breath. Physically, just having strengthened myself in that way and being able to just work out, do bag rounds, do pad rounds, do a set of fucking 20 push-ups like that makes me feel very good. But I think what I've gotten the most out of is my own personal habits, my own ways of thinking, you know. I used to find it very hard to temper myself, to kind of temper my my anger and my emotional outbursts. But when you start doing something so tasking, physically and mentally, you don't have energy to be like a grumpy little guy all the time. You don't have the energy to be so worked up about, seemingly small or dumb shit. It's given me a lot of qualities that I think I couldn't have done without. Composure, for one. Give me a lot of composure. Give me a lot of confidence, not just seeing my growth in the gym. I translate that to my growth in my day-to-day ventures, like feel like I can take on more. I feel like I can work the extra hours. I feel like if I can do something like Muay Thai, something that I just picked up when I was freaking 19 years old, there really isn't much that I shouldn't be able to do without trying hard, you know?
Sure.
I should be able to do, if I can do this, what out there in the day-to-day world is like gonna hold me back? So now the minus is, so you know, when you train a lot, you feel good after every single workout, right?
Yes.
You feel good after every single workout.
Until I wake up the next morning, yeah.
Until you wake up. Now there's a transitionary time where you start to realize if you don't work out, now you feel worse.
Yes.
You know?
100%.
So that was like, it was getting used to like that now training is like a part of my like personal upkeep. It's a part of my self-management. I need to train to feel like I'm being productive, feel healthy, and feel satisfied, and like I'm putting enough meaningful effort into keeping myself healthy.
Dude, 100% on that. I actually just got finished. I got over an injury, and well, actually, I got sick, and then I got an injury, and then after the injury, that was about 3 weeks. I got sick again.
Oh my god! Now you're off for like a month, right?
Dude, I was out for a month and a half, and when I tell you, it was like in recent memory, like the worst month and a half I've had in a long time, because I couldn't even do push-ups at home, my dude. Like I tried shadowboxing, and I was done in 15 seconds. I was like, that's how bad I was.
Just like feeling like shit on the shadow box in front of the mirror.
And then so I'm injured and sick at the same time, and I couldn't work out. So it was like when I tried to do something productive, I couldn't even do it.
Yeah.
So that was just like rubbing salt on the wound, and I felt so bad, man. So.
Yeah. Dude, when you haven't trained in a while, you don't want to do anything you're supposed to.
Yeah, it hurts. It hurt my soul more than anything.
Yeah, like when I don't train a lot, dude, like ask her, I'm fucking moody, mean, like pent up. I have so much energy that I didn't spend at Muay Thai, and I need to burn out that energy in another way.
Yeah.
And it's usually nothing good. Like it's definitely a part, like a ritual part of feeling like myself. Just training. You know, there's times where maybe I'm not fighting as active, or times where I need to prioritize other ventures in life, but I can't miss training. I still got to be there at least 3 days a week to feel whole.
So what's next for Bobby then?
What's next for me?
Yes. What do you do? What's next for you?
Sweet.
Tying a shoe.
Making sure he doesn't fall again.
Hey, you know what? Hey. You want to get to the top, you got to make sure there's no way to fall.
I actually really love that.
As cliche as it sounds, a day at a time, a fight at a time. You know, now just the opportunities that I'm getting, you know, invited to different promotions to fight, being sought out by other gyms to fight their guys. Dude, that feels great. People sometimes like talk to me about me at the fights, and that's insane, you know?
People look at you and say, yo, hey, that's Bobby.
Hey, I saw you fight last time.
That's that guy.
Yeah, yo, I saw your fight with so-and-so. Dude, that feels great. That recognition, that validation, without getting too personal, I feel like I came from a background where there wasn't much room for positive reinforcement, and so when I get it from my coaches, from my girlfriend, when I get it from my friends and my teammates, dude, that is the most just fulfilling thing. It fills my soul. I'm just looking forward to showing up to this fight and just doing my best. I feel confident. I'm gonna do my best every time. But this time, I want to make sure that I'm more in my head than I am out there. With all the people, all the noise, you know, all the different sounds, and the refs yelling, and the judges are talking, and then there's just that hush. There's that hush when you start fighting, and then the explosion again when everyone starts screaming, and you low kick, Bobby, jump down, come on, Bobby. There's that moment, that right there, dude, I feel a spike in my heart rate, and it skyrockets, you know? It's like, you gotta take it just a day at a time, training at a time. My goals for this fight are, I just want to look great. I want to look great. I spent a lot of time this camp eliminating my fear of loss. I think it's held me back quite a bit. My fear of failure, my fear of embarrassment, it'll make me more protective so as to have, or to feel like I have control whether or not I get embarrassed, or you know, when I low kicked and I lose confidence for just a sec because everyone saw it. It didn't hurt. It didn't hurt. I lost points, right? But like, I get a little sapped in confidence because everyone saw it happen.
Yeah.
And now I feel this tremendous rush to start doing better. I gotta force the fight. I gotta force the pace because I need everyone who loves me to see that I'm in this fight and I'm doing well. That's the wrong mentality, I think. I think the right mentality is that I just need to be kind of alone up here. Just me and coach know what we're doing. We rarely ever set a game plan. Because how do you game plan a fight against people you have no tape on, you know?
You can't.
Yeah, you can't. So I think I just need to do a better job of really tapping in to my body, really feel present, really feel attentive to my breathing, and just reassuring myself. Mind is strong, my body's strong. I've been ready for this for months. I'm just doing it today.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, 2 more questions and then we'll wrap it up.
Sure, man.
All right.
Hey, dude.
What kind of impact would you like to have on the world?
What kind of impact would I like to have on the world?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what kind of impact I can have on the world. My little world, Muay Thai, I want to leave an impact on that world.
Okay.
I want to just kind of pioneer Muay Thai in America in a way. I feel like now, oh, thanks, dude.
I hope I didn't step in
You
that.
didn't.
Dude, we're on a roll here. I feel like I can make a difference in a dude like me's life. And like, I see myself like 20, 30 years, like an older dude wearing a dato hat, like wearing a dato hat all padded up, training some young bull that's just trying to start his career. I just want to teach what I know and hope that it gets some fighters pretty far along in their career. Ultimately, fighting is like, you know, I love to fight. I love to compete. I like to challenge myself, and I love to get that experience. But ultimately, what I think it would serve as my credibility as a coach. We spoke earlier about mentorship and how, you know, it's important for young people, not just young men, but young people to find mentors that can kind of guide them and share their experiences with them. And when it comes to Muay Thai, I want to do the same thing for young fighters. If I get someone in the gym that was talented and driven, I can tell that, you know, that they really want to get themselves somewhere. I want to be able to help facilitate that for them and share my knowledge. So, yeah. What impact do I want to make on the world? Be a sick-ass fighter and a sick-ass coach. That's really it.
You gotta touch a lot of lives with that mentality.
You think so?
Oh, hell yeah.
Thanks, dude.
You got the talent and you definitely got the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I really do. That's reassuring. I just want to be a Muay Thai mentor, a badass dude. I want someone to kind of feel the same way about me like I feel about my coach. I'll just keep passing it on.
I go, man. Now, all right, final question is, where can people find out more about you if they want to?
Where people can find out more about me? So, best way right now to find out more about me, if you're in Tampa, come to the gym and chat me up. Come to Tampa Muay Thai. We're at 1622 North Franklin Street. If you want to like chat or like if you want to keep up with my fighting, my Instagram is at Lil Bobby Kenshin, LILBOBBYKENSHIN.
There's gonna be a link to his Instagram in the description down below.
You're gonna plug it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, dude.
That was super sick conversation, and that definitely went way more deep than I thought it was gonna go.
No, dude, I really appreciate you taking out the time. I've been telling baby like all week, man, it's so surprising that someone found me interesting in a manner that they'd like to go out on a Saturday and just chat me up. So, yeah, dude, it made me feel really good about that. My first time doing an interview of any kind. And, you know, just show me what it looks like when it's done. Dude,
Well,
I'm excited.
Alright, man, cool. How you feel?
Better than before I trained. It was just a long day at work, didn't get much sleep. But it's just like having the guys, dude, this is like me hanging out, you know? Like seeing Kai, seeing Joe, seeing Eddie. So honestly, it's hard, but it feels therapeutic in a sense. And I appreciate you showing love, bro. Thanks for coming through. still in the work uniform and stuff, it's dedication. Like when I'm at work and stuff and I'm thinking about like my fight, it's the most nerve-wracking, terrifying thing to think about. But when I'm covered in sweat at the end of the night after this stuff, it's just like, dang, what can I not do in a ring? And it feels like I put so much time into this. I don't know how to do anything else better. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Something on a personal note, dude, yesterday was awful. I was being so moody. I missed a meal before I came to the gym, and then Emmy was running my workout. So I ended up just kind of being real fussy and snapping at her, and she was like, "Yo, you need to relax with me because I'm helping you out, you know?"
Ooh.
And I was just like, "Oh, I'm sorry, baby. Like, fight camp makes me like so moody. The cutting weight and just, you know, being here every night." Towards those last 2 weeks of camp, I feel like that's when you make the most improvement, you know, especially from like a mental standpoint. I feel like that's when you do your most productive thinking and visualizing as it gets closer. When you just take a fight and it's like 4 weeks away, it's like this imaginary thing you're not even close to yet. But like a couple weeks out, it definitely you have to start getting into that zone. You get a little meaner, you know.